Many experts believe that it is a risky move, but it appears that China wants to demonstrate how powerful it has become by fighting on multiple fronts with multiple nations. For security reasons, India has banned many Chinese apps, but it seems that China just can't stop provoking India. It appears that China is either confused or it is trying to be too cunning. On the one hand, Chinese government mouthpiece talks about economic conflict and economic war against India, and on the other hand, Chinese embassy issues statements such as these expressing how worried it is about jobs and entrepreneurship in India. Before issuing such statements, shouldn't China understand that if it is really concerned about the Indian entrepreneurship scenario and about the livelihood of Indians, then it should actually support Make in India? Just how many Indians and Indian government officials had opened their accounts on Chinese apps, maybe now Chinese embassy and other Chinese officials can start joining Indian apps. This way, they will be truly able to support Indian entrepreneurship. The Chinese government should also consider creating their profiles on Indian apps, and they can also invite the Chinese citizens to do the same. Later on, just like TikTok, these Indian apps can even open their offices in China and provide some employment to Chinese youth and support the Chinese creators who want to express themselves by dancing or lip-syncing on Indian apps. Sounds fair, doesn't it? Does China even realize that as the Chinese government mouthpiece was warning India on how the ban of 59 apps can lead to India's technology and internet startups losing Chinese investment, some in India's tech industry were actually celebrating the ban of the Chinese apps in India? So, in this case, is China trying to suggest that it is a bigger well-wisher of the Indian tech industry than Indians are themselves? Well, this is the same Chinese newspaper which is known for its frequent taunts and provocative language against India. This is one example. Recently, the newspaper even had words like stupid and foolish in one of its articles in relation to India. So, realistically speaking, will India be in trouble if China stops investing in the Indian tech industry or if the ban on Chinese apps remains permanent? Well, experts believe that in short to mid-term, the industry might face some hiccups, but in the long term, if India really wants to create large-scale employment and have its own global apps, it must start thinking big and have a solid long-term vision. And as far as the Chinese app companies are concerned, they must be hoping that this ban is not permanent. After all, without India, their dream of global conquest might just remain a dream forever. In case you want to learn how China impacts the Indian entrepreneurship scenario from a big picture perspective, then you must watch this episode as well. See you again.